4% tariffs and went into effect, we think that China is going to have to pay for it, but it tells a story of a special needs toy importer. And when the tariffs went into effect at midnight, his tariff, he's been paying a tariff because he gets stuff from China, $26,000 a year. His tariff bill went from $26,000 at midnight to $346,000. And that's money he's going to have to come out of his pocket. It sounds like he's going to have to go ahead and close down part of his business.
Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the beginning of this.
With these 104% tariffs and went into effect, we think that China is going to have to pay for it, but
he says we think China is going to have to pay for it. Nobody who doesn't listen to Trump thinks that China is going to have to pay for that. The only way you think China is going to have to pay for that is if you have been listening to Trump all the time. So it's interesting to watch these Fox News reporters come to the realization that China is not going to pay for American tariffs. It's like watching idiots learn that circles are round or that squares have right angles.
Tells a story of a special needs.
So first you have the tariff over fentanyl trafficking. They're still trying to push that, but this has anything at all to do with fentanyl, which there are nobody is arguing against, in favor of fentanyl trafficking. It's one of the things that Republicans like to do is they like to say, oh, well, it's about fentanyl trafficking. And it's okay, how is this going to prevent fentanyl trafficking? There are ways and there are methods to prevent fentanyl trafficking, many of which Biden addressed, which is why, excuse me, hiccups. Fentanyl trafficking went down under Biden. It's not like Democrats are in favor of fentanyl or something. But that's the way Republicans are. If they're against something, then Democrats must be for it. And if they're for something, Democrats must be against it. Even if it's like cancer or something. And it's no, there's not Democrats aren't knee-jerk response is not to be against everything that Republicans are for. But that's the knee-jerk response that Republicans have. So therefore, Democrats must have the same response. Anyway, Democrats are against fentanyl. Just so you know, they're not for fentanyl. They just don't think that tariffs address fentanyl trafficking.
Toy importer. And when the tariffs went into effect at midnight, his tariff, he's been paying a tariff because he gets stuff from China.
Okay, by his tariff, he means the importer of these special needs toys.
$26,000 a year. So his tariff bill went from $26,000 at midnight to $346,000.
From $26,000 to $346,000 for special needs toys. And now that doesn't mean that it's $346,000 per toy. If he has 100 toys or whatever, 1,000 toys, then it's, prorated per toy. But the price for him went up astronomically. And that's the important thing. 26 to 300. So it's went up 10 times, which means that he's going to have to pass that along to the customer, which means now that special needs parent is going to have to spend 10 times as much money for that toy for their child as they would have.